Tapering is essentially the process of cutting back on your training while staying as fit as you can, so that you're rested when it comes to race day, but staying at a peak fitness.
But there are some pitfalls that you might fall into. I'm Anna, and today, along with Rick, we are going to be here to help you avoid some top tapering mistakes that do tend to happen.
First up though, if you are new around here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to the running channel and tap that bell icon so you get notified when we upload new videos just like this one that we do every week.
First up, it's important to note that a recent study in the International Journal of Sports Medicine looked at over 50 studies into the effects of tapering on your performance and overwhelmingly found that tapering works.
Most studies found an improvement of about 3% in athletes who reduced their training before competition. This translates to about 5 minutes for a 3-hour marathoner, or about a minute for those who run 10K in around 40 minutes.
How long you taper for and the types of workouts that you do during that taper period really depend on the length of the race that you're training for. But roughly speaking, the longer the race, the longer the taper period. So if you're training for a marathon, then you're going to look to taper somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks out from race day. If it's a half marathon and it's your goal race, then your taper period will be somewhere between 10 days and maybe even up to 2 weeks. But if it's a 10K or a 5K that you're racing, then you might just take it a little bit easier in the week leading up to that race.
Heavy training impacts the body's levels of muscle glycogen, enzymes, antitoxins, and hormones. Reducing our training can give our body the chance to return to the levels where we can perform at our best.
There's a fine line between doing too much during your taper and not doing enough. We hope that it goes without saying that you shouldn't be running really hard in the week leading up to your target race. But equally, if you are in that longer marathon taper, for example, then do try and keep some intensity to your training. You don't want to be just sitting back and doing some light jogging for the final 3 weeks of your training.
Similarly, the worst thing to do is to panic that you've not done enough training and start smashing in the sessions, running quicker during steady runs in order to try and get fitter.
Nothing that you do in the final week before your race is going to make you any fitter. Ultimately, you'll just end up tiring yourself out or running the risk of injury. The taper is likely to make you feel a little bit sluggish. That's totally normal. But maybe throw in some strides, some easy strides if that's what you're used to. Don't put anything new into your routine. Trust the process and stick to your plan.
Tapering doesn't give you free license to kick back and relax in the days building up to race day, but like we've mentioned, don't add in extra sessions or harder runs. If you are doing interval sessions, well, keep up the intensity of those, just reduce the amount of distance that you're doing.
When you're looking at a 3-week marathon taper, look to reduce the volume of your mileage by around 20 to 30% in the first week of your taper, then 50 to 60% in the second week. Then in your final week leading up to race day, just do some shorter runs of around 6 to 7 kilometers.
And for shorter races, don't just stop in the week before, as your body will not thank you for it. If you're still not sure, check out our video here on the running channel all about how to taper.
Maybe you picked up an injury during training, maybe you got sick, or maybe life admin got in the way and you ended up having to ditch a long run because of it. That's okay, you might say. I've got 2 weeks before my marathon, I'll just cram it in there instead. Don't.
Trying to add in an extra run in the couple of weekends before your target race can be tempting, but actually it's just going to fatigue your legs out. Similarly, if you're thinking, well, I haven't quite reached my target distance for my training, and then you jump up your distance in the week before, well, that can be a recipe for disaster.
So it might help your mind and put your mind at ease that you've gone out and done this extra long run, but it certainly won't help your body. It's much better to go into your race on fewer long runs than you would have liked than to go in tired and fatigued.
When you're tapering, you'll be running less and less each week, and the temptation will be to drastically reduce the amount of food you eat. But your body needs the tapering period to repair to the training stimulus. So don't be tempted to reduce too much. and you'll still be hungry as your metabolism will still be working at the same rate.
And don't be tempted to try anything new either. The taper period may have you going stir crazy, but now is not the time to experiment with a new gel or try eating other things that you're not used to. Your stomach won't thank you for it.
If you've travelled somewhere new for a big race, it's quite exciting, and it's probably tempting to do some sightseeing and go for a long walk around, but try to avoid those long walks and staying in your feet for too long in the lead up to a big race. Why not try and go on a bus tour and stay off your feet for a bit longer, or plan it so you've got the time after the race to go and have a look around.
And if it's a big event that has an expo, be sensible about going to pick up your bib. You don't want to spend hours shuffling around looking at products that you shouldn't be buying for race day anyway, let's face it. Go in, get your bib, get out, get your feet up.
Everyone is different, and every runner can find a training plan that works best for their body and their individual lives. And that goes the same for your marathon taper. Don't start comparing your marathon taper to others. Work what's best for you as an individual when it comes to your race day. Focus on your own game. By doing that, you'll stay on the best track.
We always say nothing new on race day, but changing your shoes during a taper should be carefully considered too.
You need to strike a balance. If you absolutely have to change your shoes, then try and change them for the same make or model, and try and do this early on in the taper. And really, don't change them at all unless your old ones really are completely worn out.
Sleep is a huge part in your taper. Don't underestimate it. It's a really important component of being ready to race, but it can be one of the most difficult as well. You're likely to feel quite nervous in the build-up and twitchy, which can affect your sleep. And don't be surprised if you don't sleep at all well the night before race day.
So stick with good routines. Try to get to bed early because you will feel fresher. Have a look at some basic coping strategies to help with nerves. Maybe even look at mindfulness, write things down that are on your mind. Avoid screen time late at night and try some reading instead.
Now, this entirely depends on your previous sports massage experience and what works for your body, but getting your first ever sports massage in the weeks leading up to your big race, that's a little bit risky.
It can actually make you feel a little bit sore afterwards, and a true sports massage will actually make you feel rather tired. Don't just assume because it's worked for other people that it's going to work for you.
You've got loads of extra time when you're tapering because you're not out there running as much, so use that time wisely. Get yourself a checklist together of all the things you need to do for your race the night before. Get your number and pin that on your top. Get your kit out, get your food out, get everything ready that you need to.
And make sure you leave yourself enough time. Make sure you know where the loos are, where you drop your bags off, and where you're going to eat before the race. All these things are really important. Leave no stone unturned. Don't let all that hard work in training and perfectly executed taper go to waste.
Hopefully we have given you some tips on how to avoid tapering nightmares. So good luck with your taper. Let us know in the comments below if you've got any questions or if you've had your own tapering nightmare. And we'll see you next time on the Running Channel.